News 4 Jax starts right now with a breaking news alert.
And we've been following major breaking news from the National Transportation Safety Board tonight. We're hearing from families of the El Faro victims after the agency tells us it's found wreckage believed to be the missing ship El Faro. We first alerted our viewers and the families through our News 4 Jax push alert sent out at 9:17 this evening. A search team on board the USNS Apache made the discovery around 1:30 this afternoon using sophisticated sonar equipment. The Jacksonville-based freighter sank October 1st in the face of Hurricane Joaquin with 33 crew members on board. The NTSB says the vessel was located at a depth of about 15,000 feet in the vicinity of the last known location. Experts will have to confirm the wreckage is in fact that of El Faro. That process could begin as early as tomorrow. Channel 4's Jim Piggott has been speaking with some of the families about this major news. He joins us live in the newsroom with reaction. Jim.
You know, Ethan, you can imagine this is very surprising for families. We contacted several family members tonight. Most were just not aware that that wreckage had even been located. They were relieved, though, when I was speaking to them, that to hear that this could give them some answers to some questions that they've had since the ship sank. We've been talking to first Barry Young, whose uncle, LaShawn Rivera, was on board that ship. And the second person you'll hear from will be Danny Howard, whose brother-in-law, Larry Davis, was also a crew member.
At least they've located like I say, they've located the ship. Well, that's a good thing. Maybe they can find the black box and find out just exactly what did happen before the ship sunk. Maybe, you know.
And speaking to his father just a few minutes ago, we all definitely are pleased to know that it has been located, because hopefully it'll shed more light on some things. And we're just hoping for closure totally on this whole issue.
Yeah. And what would closure be for your family? What do you think that would be?
To have Sean brought back home, whether hope by whatever state it is, we would like to see him brought back home.
Answers that people are hoping to receive. You know, I also spoke with maritime attorney Rod Sullivan. He's an expert on these matters. He's talked to us about what is going to happen now.
Well, yeah, I did have a doubt because of the fact that they were not able to recover or pick up the sound of the tweeter, or the ping. So that I thought that would make it considerably more difficult to find it with just the side scanning sonar. They're going to, first of all, examine the hull, and I think what they're looking for is two things. First of all, is the hull cracked someplace that would have allowed water to enter into it? And secondly, whether or not the cargo shifted. If the cargo broke from its lashings and shifted, that would tend to indicate that the vessel more likely than not rolled over and capsized. Whereas if they find cracks in the hull, vertical cracks, it's more likely that because of stress fatigue, the hull opened up and allowed water to come in. The other thing, of course, they're going to look for is they're going to try to see if they can recover the SVDR. Now, the SVDR should be located above the bridge, and it should be in an area that's accessible. And if they can find it and they can, free it from the bridge, then they can hopefully bring it to the surface. There's really no way to raise this vessel from 15,000 feet. And there's really no way to enter into the vessel to try to recover the remains of the people who might be inside. These are vessels with watertight doors, narrow passageways, and it's really very difficult to try to actually penetrate into the side of the ship to look for things on the inside. They'd mostly be looking for things on the outside.
That is going to be hard news for family members to understand and to grasp that it's just going to be difficult. You know, I asked about raising this ship. That's something that's just probably, according to Sullivan, is not going to happen. They're just going to do what they can to look into here to determine what happened, hopefully find that pinger or the black box per se, so they can learn what happened. Family members, again, are just finding out about this, and for many of them, it is a relief, but they believe that they are going to have some questions to at least be able to be answered for now. We're live in the newsroom. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
Jim, thank you. We'll continue to follow this major breaking news alert. Maritime expert Rod Sullivan, as you heard Jim mention, will be here on the morning show tomorrow in the 8 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that. Look for any breaking details overnight on news4jax.com. A family of 6 escapes a fast-moving house fire in Arlington today. The fire earlier today destroyed their home after flames tore through the house. It happened around 3:30 this afternoon on Cherokee Villa Lane. Some were treated at the scene for minor smoke inhalation, but thankfully everyone is okay tonight. We're told all 6 people were inside the home watching the Florida-Georgia game when the fire started in the garage. Fire crews tell us flames were shooting through the roof when they arrived on scene. Jacksonville Fire Rescue quickly responded, knocking the flames down. The homeowner says his main concern was getting everyone out quickly.
I saw the shade. I don't know if I saw the fire or the shade of the fire, but I saw it like really glowing. I mean, at first I thought we can put it up by just getting some water on it, but I mean, it was really like going at it.
Dare says his parents lived in the home with him. He says he's thankful he has all of them by his side tonight and no one was injured. Well, students and employees sounding off after Dade Medical College down. Several students and staff gathering at the Arlington campus today demanding answers.
Regardless of if we get our money back, I can't get my time back. What do I do? I mean, babies that are almost 2 years old, and then my 11-year-old is the one with the disability. And I'm not.
The owner of the for-profit school, Ernesto Perez, has not given a reason why he closed the doors permanently. All 6 campuses from here in Jacksonville to South Florida have shut down. Perez sent a letter to students and staff announcing the immediate closing. The news comes amid reports of bounced payroll checks and other financial troubles. Employees were instructed to file for unemployment. Students will have to find another way to finish their degrees. One student we spoke with says she was in the for 2 years. Like other classmates, sacrificed for her education despite extreme circumstances.
But we've put in our time and our effort, and nobody has anything to tell us. I mean, there's closed doors, an impersonal email. That's not right.
Perez says in his letter, quote, "Students, we will be communicating with you in the coming weeks as to an organized teach-out plan so you can continue your education as seamlessly as possible at a comparable institution." Well, changing gears tonight, a big win for the Florida Gators. And now that the game is over, people have made their way over to the Jacksonville Landing to keep the party going. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is out in full force tonight looking for people drinking underage. They say it's not about ruining someone's night, making sure they stay safe. Channel 4's Heather Lee spoke with police and has more.
If you are underage and you are caught drinking, it could cost you $100 tonight, but it could cost you so much more, like your safety, which is why JSO says just don't do it.
If you're a Gator fan, you may have one of these in your hand, a celebratory drink, one that can be enjoyed if you are 21 and up, and if you're not.
If we're looking for the younger people, that may have the open containers with them.
Lieutenant Dan Kenny says it's not difficult to figure out who's breaking the law.
Many times they're trying to hide things from you. They see you and you can tell by their face that they're turning away, they're hiding something in their shirt, or they put their bottle down immediately. Then that's kind of a big clue right there.
JSO says they've fined many people tonight. For the kids under 18, they don't just let them go. They call their parents to come pick them up. Florida statute says underage drinking can cost you up to $500 in fines. Tonight, it's a $75 citation. Kenny says that phone call is always hard to make, and many times the parents aren't expecting it.
A little bit of surprise and a little bit denial, but then when they come here and they actually see the person is a little bit intoxicated, they kind of turn and are thankful and grateful, and that's the biggest thing. We're not here to punish them, we're just making sure that they're not going to get in trouble later on.
He reminds parents to always know where their kids are and who they are with. If you are of age and are drinking, Kenny suggests you walk in groups so you can watch out for each other.
People could walk out into traffic, they could walk past the event area of downtown into maybe I'm not to say a bad part of town, but maybe a place they shouldn't be. And they could become victims. I mean, it'd be pretty obvious to see when they're stumbling down the street that there's a potential victim I can go, victimize. So that's just not good. They should always be in at least groups and always supervised by adults.
Now, earlier today when I spoke with Kenny, he says that officers had only found one fake ID, but that does not mean that they aren't looking. He says there are several ways to tell if an ID is fake. Heather Lee, Channel 4, the local station.
Stay with us. We're back in 2 minutes.